This is the L2C Media Network, and this is Sports Final with Steve the Baxman Baxley, presented by the L2C Media Network. And now, who are you going to call when you need some sports? Boy, that rang a bell. Here he is. Here's our host with all the details in the day in sports and the night in sports. Here's Steve. All right, thank you very much. How you doing? Welcome back, Harold, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to the only show that never knows where evil lurks in the hearts of men, because we'd rather look in the hearts of a woman. I thought it was poetic. Anyway, welcome everybody, and a big old hi to Uno's new friend, Bella the Beagle, Mindy's newest pet, and apparently she's going to be adding to the menagerie with a pot-belly pig. Can a beagle and a pig get along together? Maybe, and that's not a bad idea for another comic book by Mandy Summers. By the way, I think I predicted Jack the Ripper will go 67K. I hope I'm right. Personally, I hope it goes 70K just to piss off some folks at DC and all the SJWs out there who don't think Comicsgate, excuse the expression, Comicsgate is a fluke. It's a happening, and trust me when I tell you, it's happening. It's riveting. Yep, I got my. I'm getting some use of the Cyberfrog beanie. Yep, it's going to be good. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about here on the broadcast. So let's get going with what we do at the top of every little broadcast. And I'm just setting things up here. So can we hear the bell, guys? Thank you very much. Well, let's do the Monday Nighter, and then we will decide which five we will be talking about on our Tuesday night quarterback. So join us for that, shall we? Or join us, won't you? And, well, we didn't see this happening, but it did. San Francisco 49ers beat the Los Angeles Rams 31-10. Here are the stats for Stafford and the Rams. Matt Stafford, 243 yards and a touchdown. Henderson, 5 rushing attempts for 31 yards. And Kupp needed one because he got belted. 11 receptions, 122 yards. None of them created touchdowns. Garoppolo for the 49ers, 182 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mitchell, 27 rushing attempts for 91 yards. And Samuel had 5 receptions, 97 yards, and 1 touchdown. There you go. Meat and potatoes, folks. What can we say but meat and potatoes? So that is your Monday night little extravagance. Can we do a recap? We should. Is there a recap up for us? I'm hoping. Yes, it did. Garoppolo threw 2 touchdown passes. Jimmy Ward returned one of his first 2 first-quarter interceptions. For another score, the San Francisco 49ers, they whipped the butts off of the LA Rams 31-10 Monday night for their first home win in more than a year. The Niners, 4-5, lost 4 of 5 games and were in danger of falling out of the playoff race before putting together a complete performance against the Rams, who are now 7-3. San Francisco had won 5 straight against Los Angeles. Garoppolo threw TD passes to George Kittle. Debo Samuel. And Debo Samuel. Samuel also ran for a score, and Ward delivered the big plays defensively to give San Francisco its second home win in the past 2 seasons. The other, believe it or not, came against the Rams on October 18th, 2020. Stafford was still with the Lions then. Don't you just love it when good things come? Thank you. Good things come to those who wait. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I like this. The Niners sealed the game when Garoppolo connected on a 40-yard TD to Samuel on 4th and 6 early in the fourth quarter. That made it 31-7. Garoppolo finished 15 for 19 for 182 yards and the 2 touchdowns. Rams lost for a second straight week with Matthew Stafford once again throwing 2 interceptions, including 1 return for a touchdown. LA struggled to get into any rhythm offensively in the first game after receiver Robert Wood went down with a season-ending knee injury last week in practice. Odell Beckham Jr. made his Rams debut after signing last week, but he only had 2 catches for 18 yards. Recently acquired edge rusher Von Miller also played for the first time with the Rams and had 3 tackles, but didn't put any pressure on Garoppolo. Stafford went 26 for 41 for 243 yards with 1 TD, 2 interceptions, and nearly a third that Kawan Williams trapped on his backside only to have it wiped off by a penalty. Ward intercepted Stafford on Los Angeles' first 2 drives of the game after coming into the night with 2 INTs in 85 games and none since 2016. The first course came on a deep heave by Stafford to Beckham that went right to Ward, and the next came on a quick throw that tight end Tyler Higbee bobbled right into Ward's hands, leading to a 27-yard touchdown return. Ward became the 7th player since 2000 with 2 interceptions, including a pick 6 in the first quarter. The Niners did a good job keeping the ball away from Stafford in the first half. They had an 18-play, 93-yard drive that took 11 minutes and 3 seconds off the clock after Ward's first interception. It was capped by an 8-yard touchdown pass from Garoppolo to Kittle. That was the second opening drive of at least 18 plays in the past 8 seasons, with Houston doing it earlier this year against New England. San Fran then had an 11-play, 91-yard drive on its second possession, capped by Samuel's 8-yard run to take a 21-7 lead. Rams coach Sean McVay made a curious decision when he called for a fake field goal on 4th and 8 from the 17 with 18 seconds left in the first half. Johnny Hecker, the holder, completed a 2-yard pass to Kendall Blanton that was well short of the first down. Here's your injury list for right now. For the Rams, running back Darrell Henderson left in the first quarter to be evaluated for a concussion, but returned late in the first half. 49ers right tackle Jalen Moore, knee, left game in the first half. Believe it or not, the Rams have a bye next week before visiting Green Bay on November 28th. The 49ers visit Jacksonville on Sunday. Final score, 49ers 31, Rams 10, and the Rabbi not very happy this week. He went 6-1 this week. We'll divvy up the totals for you and give them all to you on tomorrow night's sports final. But wow. How does this look in the standings in the National Football League? Well, I can tell you. It's somewhat embarrassing. Yeah, very embarrassing. Let's give it to you in the proper context, or contest if you prefer. Standings. Yes, we do prefer standings, and let's do it here. In the AFC East, the Buffalo Bills lay claim to first place. They are 6-3-0. About 67%. New England Patriots are second at 6-4, which is 60%. Miami is 3-7, which is 30%. And the New York Jets are 2-7 at about 22%. In the AFC North, I don't know why we do percentages. Don't ask me. In the AFC North, Baltimore is on the top with a record of 6-3. Pittsburgh Steelers 5-3-1. They're in second. Cincinnati Bengals in third at 5-4, and the Cleveland Browns are in the basement at 5-5. AFC South, the Tennessee Titans are still the top of the heap with an 8-2 record. Indianapolis Colts in second at 5-5. Jacksonville Jaguars getting up there. They're in third at 2-7. And Houston Texans wallowing in disgrace at 1-8. And in the AFC West, it's the Chiefs at 6-4. Los Angeles Chargers 5-4. Same with the Las Vegas Raiders. And the Denver Broncos in last with 5-5. In the National Football Conference, the NFC East, it's the Dallas Cowboys at 7-2. Philadelphia in second at 4-5. Washington in third at 3-6. Giants hanging in there. They're also at 3-6. So you could say they're tied for third. NFC North Division, Green Bay Packers solid first at 8-2. Minnesota in second, 4-5. Chicago Bears 5-6, and the Detroit Lions, despite the tie, well, we can no longer go 0-9. We can just go 0-8-1. 0-8-1. So technically, they are still A, the worst team in the National Football League, and B, they still have a tiny grasp now on holding that first round draft choice in next year's NFL draft. Why? We'll explain that as well. In the NFC South, Tampa Bay 6-3. They're on the top. Meanwhile, the New Orleans Saints are in second at 5-4. Carolina Panthers in third at 5-5. And the Atlanta Falcons are dead in the water at 4-5. Maybe there's still a season left, or half a season, or a third of a season, either one. And finally, the NFC West, you've got the Arizona Cardinals, 8-2. Los Angeles Rams, barely holding on to second at 7-3. San Francisco 49ers at 4-5. And the Seattle Seahawks at 3-6. So right now, way things are looking, I would say that without a doubt, you're going to have a couple of teams going for the final week of the season before they can grab one of the titles. But I would watch the Rams very closely, if not the Cardinals, in the NFC West. In the NFC South, give the edge to Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In the NFC North, of course, go with the Packers. NFC East, this is going to be Dallas's year. Now, in the AFC West, give it to Kansas City. Tennessee, they got solid performance. They got a good shot in the South. In the North, it's the Ravens. And finally, the Buffalo Bills. I still hold breath on the New England Patriots stealing it in about maybe the latter 2 weeks of the season. So there you go. And I hate to once again do this, but a hot mic is lancing and we are live. I already have, and I know there's a lump there. It is swollen. And the world stops for a moment. Anyway, we'll pick out the top 5 of week 10 and bring it all to you tomorrow on Tuesday Night Quarterback. Don't forget, 7 o'clock tomorrow. It is our special college football playoff rankings, 7 to 8 p.m. Unless there's a basketball game, then we got to wait till it's over. Then we got to do it real fast, and I have egg on my face. We blow it on week 1. We just barely got it in on week 2. Week 3, it should be better. We get help from ESPN, of course. Anyway, we've done the NFL. Let us now proceed with caution to the NBA. That's right. It's time for some hoops, pro, college, and G. That's right, pro, college, and G. So let's get on with it, boys. Oh, we've already done that. Yeah, let's get on with it, boys. We gotta wait for the round and round and round. By the way, tonight at 5 Eastern Time, it's Jamaica versus the U.S. in the CONCACAF qualifiers, the road to Qatar. Blessing. Blessing. Thank you very much, Mother. Okay, let us go to our basketball segment. And once again, we got to say it because if we don't, it'll look like we don't know what we're talking about. Folks, the scoreboard, as always, presented by our good friends over at Caesar Sportsbook, who keep telling us until we're blue in the face and they're yellow in the mouth. They're all Caesars. So if you Caesar, have fun. Pleaser, Caesar. Hey. Couple of games still in the running. 6:07 left to play in the fourth. It is the Portland Trailblazers over the Toronto Raptors, 105-101. And 7:10 left in the third. It is a fun 7:30. Can we take that down, please? Down with those dumb things. Thank you. 6:53 left to play in the third. Chicago Bulls lead Los Angeles Lakers 73-58. And I can't wait to see the standings for this. Final scores, we got them. We'll give them to you. Boston Celtics over Cleveland Cavaliers in 98-92. We continue on. Thank you. The Washington Wizards over the New Orleans Pelicans 105-100. Sacramento Kings beat a lethargic Detroit Pistons club 129-107. New York Knicks over the Indiana Pacers 92-84. Hawks over the Magic 129-111. Mavericks over the Nuggets 111-101. Memphis Grizzlies over the once happy and proud Houston Rockets 136-102. Miami Heat over the Oklahoma City Thunder 103-90. Phoenix Suns tamed the Timberwolves 99-96, and that is basketball numero uno. Let's go for basketball numero college. Yes, we go to the college hoops. Let's take you now to some college hoops right now for tonight's action. Yes. The college basketball scoreboard. Oh, there they are. There they are right there. Let's pop them up, shall we? Yay. Yay who. All right. Let's see more. Thank you. Boom. Oh, boy. Yesterday when I was young. We gotta make sure here. We got, yes. Oh, I think we did. Did we do this? Yeah, we did. These are yesterday's games. Don't we have any games tonight? Any games. I'll take any games as a result of tonight, you know. Here we go. Let's give you tonight's little statutationals. Sacramento State over Cal Poly, 58-57. And for the games that are still going on as we speak, Utah over Bethune-Cookman, 86-55. About 33 seconds left before this game ends. We'll just give you the score anyway. Utah Valley over Pepperdine, 82-74. At the half, it's UCLA 48, Long Beach State 45, Washington State 41, UC Santa Barbara 25. And again, if that doesn't help matters, this does. San Jose State over Sanford, 38-29. You guessed him right there, and everything else was yesterday when we were all young and foolish. Okay, and now we go from the men to the ladies. Yes, it's ladies' night. Didn't you know that? It is ladies' night. And did ladies have fun? Did they have games? Did they have fun? Did they have joy with everyone? And I think they did not have any games tonight. Wow. Ain't that something? The ladies did not play tonight. Okay, so we leave the ladies to their vices and we go from the college to the G League. That's right. Time to go to the G League, and those scores are presented by the fine folks over at Gatorade. Is it in you? From Stokely Van Camp. We knew a Stokely Van Camp. So, today, of course, 15th. Let's see if there is any games on the 15th to even mention. Yeah, there was one game to talk about. The Iowa Wolves beat up on the Grand Rapids Gold 124-109. And we have no score yet on a game that is this today or yeah. Here's the score. Fourth quarter, and it is now final. Stockton defeated Agua Caliente 102-83. That's right, 102-83. Wow. That is that's not a bad score. We don't know if Nick Rekieta is streaming tonight. We know that he continues to do excellent coverage with his fellow lawyers on the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. On the Kyle Rittenhouse trial that is now in the hands of the jury. So there's more to this than meets the eye. There is a chance, although I do not know if it's going to be a good chance, that he will be doing a Twitch stream tonight. But coverage does continue tomorrow. Check in around 8, maybe 9, 10 a.m. in the morning for his take on this very unique trial. And I say unique because, in my opinion, the prosecution, they got derailed by a good defense team that somewhat wasn't exactly all good. I mean, there are some statements that they should have pounced on, but did not. Okay, so we go from there to the NHL. Yes, the fun league. Let's go from the hard court to the hard ice, or the hard synthetic ice. And there's only 2 games to care about in the National Hockey League. We go to both of them, their final score. So here they are. Columbus Blue Jackets over the Detroit Red Wings 5-3, and the Molson Cup 3 Stars selection. Chinnikov for Columbus, 1 goal, 1 assist. Werwinski for Columbus, 1 goal, and Jenner, 1 goal for Columbus. It was a Blue Jacket cover-up for the Molson 3 Stars. And finally, the defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning beat up on 1. Vasilevsky for Tampa Bay, 25 saves. Cirelli for Tampa Bay, 1 goal, and Hedman. By the way, we got to do this because we don't, well, it will be meaningless. Let's take you now to the standings of the NBA. And, well, here we go. Of course, the Big Six for the Eastern Conference. Washington still on the top at 10-3. Brooklyn in second at 10-4. Chicago third at 9-4. Miami fourth at 8-5. Cleveland fifth in 9-6. New York Knicks sixth at 8-6. Seventh, Philadelphia 8-6. Charlotte at 8-7. Ninth, Toronto followed by Toronto and then Boston in a tie with 7-7. We got Milwaukee in 11th, the defending world champion, with 6-8. Atlanta in 12th with 6-9. 13th, Indiana 6-9. 14th, Detroit 3-10, and Orlando kissing daisies at 3-11. And on the Western Conference, it's Golden State on top, Phoenix in second, close by. Dallas in third, Golden State 11-2, Phoenix 10-3, Dallas 9-4, Denver in fourth at 9-5. Fifth place, Utah, the Jazz 8-5 are the LA Clippers in the sixth position, also at 8-5. Lakers 8-6, they're in seventh place. Memphis 7-up, 7-7. In eighth and ninth, 6-8 for Sacramento. In 10th, Portland at 6-8. 11th, Oklahoma City 5-7. 12th, Minnesota at 4-9. 13th, San Antonio 4-9. 14th, New Orleans 2-13, and Houston is dead in the water at 1-13. So there you go. Quite a Zamfir, don't you think? Yes. Did we do hockey? Yes, we did. Well, we didn't finish hockey, but we do so now, unless there's. So here we go. Let's. Did they play on Monday? He asked stoically. Yes, stoically, no games for the AHL. How about our friends at the Ontario Hockey League? Did they have any games tonight? I got to find out. Let's see. Did they have any games tonight? Did anyone have any games tonight? Nope, no games on Mondays. So that's our hockey. Oh, might as well do it here. Did the college, did college hockey have any action? In season, do we have any college scores for today? Let's find out, shall we? Kind of looks like we did. We did? That's unusual. But I guess we did. Yes, we did. We did. We did, yes. What do you like here? Okay, let's go over here first. Just to make sure, we give you discourage. Okay, let's do this. All right, let's squeeze her up so I can see them. Union of New York defeated Colgate 2-0. Canisius over RIT 4-1. In double overtime, Princeton and LIU TIED, otherwise known as tied 4-4. In plain old overtime, Holy Cross over Mercyhurst 5-4. Merrimack over Maine 2-0. North Dakota over Miami of Ohio 5-4. Minnesota blanked the Ohio State Buckeyes 2-0. UMass Lowell over Boston College 4-2. Bemidji State over Lake Superior 4-2. Michigan Tech over Northern Michigan 5-2. Clarkson over Dartmouth 3-0. Cornell over Rensselaer 11-3. New Hampshire and Vermont ended in a double tie 3-3 in two overtimes. Providence took care of UConn 6-4. Quinnipiac over Arizona State 5-2. Omaha did in St. Cloud State in overtime 3-2. Harvard and St. Lawrence ended up in a tie after two overtimes, darling. Bentley 5-4 over the Air Force. Michigan State over Ferris State 4-3. Minnesota over Bowling Green 5-3. Denver over Western Michigan 5-2. Colorado and Minnesota Duluth in 2 overtimes. Didn't score a thing. Boston U over Massachusetts 4-3. Notre Dame over Wisconsin 3-0. And Sacred Heart and Yale, did they have a score? No score from them. So, of course, this was done on the 13th, so they should have had a score, but it's obvious they didn't. So there you go. Now we can say that is it for the NHL and our hockey scoreboard. Let's take you now to some headlines. And the rumor mill is a burning for the Major League Baseball folks. Here they are, the rumors of the day. Let's get started. The most obvious conclusion to Freddie Freeman's free agency is him re-signing with the Braves, possibly for the rest of his career, with him hitting free agency before signing an extension. However, the Braves are certainly risking another team swooping in and grabbing Freeman. We've heard about the Dodgers being a possibility, and now the Yankees have been thrown into the mix. John Heyman of Major League Baseball Network reports that the Yankees met with Freeman's representatives recently. Of course, Heyman also reports that Anthony Rizzo, free agent, or Matt Olson, via trade, are probably more realistic options for the Yankees to remain the favorites for Freeman. Still, it's at least interesting. Outside Atlanta, peeking in on Freeman, his lefty bat in Yankee Stadium would be a huge plus for the lineup as well. And how about this for a very hot stove league murder? The Detroit Tigers landing Rodriguez on a relatively hefty deal this early in the offseason shows how serious they are about spending money to supplement their young in-house talent. Well, they need a shortstop, and current manager A.J. Hinch was the Astros manager for the first 5 years of Carlos Correa's career. Tigers general manager Alex Avila has publicly stated that, yes, shortstop is a need too. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean the Tigers are favorites for Correa or anything for that matter, but they absolutely seem like a great fit. Sure enough, Fansided's Robert Murray reports that the Tigers met Korea's representatives at the general manager's meeting last week. He recently declined the Astros' qualifying offer. Speaking of that, here's more. According to Joe Sherman of the New York Post, the Hiroshima Toyo Carp of Japan's NPB are expected to announce this week they'll be submitting outfielder Seiya Suzuki to the posting system. Suzuki is expected to draw a lot of interest from many baseball teams, to the extent that our friends at CBS Sports ranked him as the 15th best free agent available this winter. Once Suzuki is officially posted, let the bidding commence. And of course, from there, the Carp will receive a very hefty financial payout based on the sum of his contract. Teams, of course, 30 days to reach an agreement with him. Good luck to all the teams. The Atlanta Braves announced Tuesday that they had signed veteran catcher Manny Pena to a 2-year contract worth $8 million. That includes a club option for the 2023 season. Yahoo! Pena, who had originally made the top 50 free agent rankings on CBS Sports, is a good defender with a tolerable bat. He's expected to serve as Travis d'Arnaud's backup. There you go. That is the Hot Stove League report up of all moments, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. You are watching you're watching Sports Final. I am Steve the Baxman Baxley, and it's the only show that dares to show their big ass sporty balls and aren't afraid to tell about them, because they're always full of that great old sporty juice. All right. And by the way, the rookies of the year have been announced. The Baseball Writers Association of America and Major League Baseball kicked off awards week on Monday. And They awarded the Rookies of the Year, and this year's winners were second baseman of Cincinnati, Jonathan India in the National, and Tampa Bay Rays outfielder Randy Arozarena in the American. Wasn't it? Yes, it was. In college football, oh boy. The coaching carousel may pick up another passenger. Miami has parted ways with athletic director Blake James after 8 years, the university announced Monday evening. James led the athletic department of Miami since 2013, spearheading searches that brought the Hurricanes football program to hire coaches Mark Rick in 2016 and Manny Diaz in 2019. According to Bruce Feldman of The Athletic, Deputy AD Jen Raleigh will serve in the interim role as the Hurricanes conduct search for a full-time replacement. Miami President Julio Frank, Chief of Staff Rudy Fernandez, and Senior Advisor Joe Echevarria will join Strawley as key officials in the search for the new AD. Now, despite being one of the most historic programs in college football, Miami has struggled to reach the lofty championship standards since joining the ACC in 2004. The Hurricanes have just one division championship under Rick in 2017 and have yet to win the conference. Now, things have bottomed out under Diaz as the Hurricanes sit even at 5-5 after a frustrating loss to struggling rival Florida State. Miami entered the 2021 season as the number 14 team in the nation and a favorite to compete with North Carolina for the ACC Coastal Crown. But after starting 2-4, Miami won 3 straight consecutive games against number 16 North Carolina, number 21 Pitt, and Georgia Tech. Freshman quarterback Tyler Van Dyke threw for 1,140 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 1 interception during the winning streak. However, Van Dyke threw 2 picks and lost to FSU, Diaz's signature unit. His defense ranks 87th in total defense and 95th in scoring. Diaz has compiled a 19-15 record in 3 years, including an 8-3 record in 2020. Now, given the preseason expectations this year, a 500 record placed Diaz firmly on the hot seat, and the departure of the man who hired him will only turn up the temperature. So, unless he was wearing khakis, his ass is burned red. So, stand by for that, Papachulos. Okay, just stand by for that when we tell you to. Okay, thank you very much. Let us now go back to more headlines, and then we've got a bit of media and a bit of the international stuff to take care of. So let's go to, speaking of Major League Baseball, to which we were before, let's give you a little free agent update, shall we? Major League Baseball's free agency period is officially open, and while the potential for a lockout come December 1st, when the collective bargaining agreement expires, could cause there to be a pause in the action for some unknown amount of time, teams who are eager to add to their rosters are getting their shopping started. Eduardo Rodriguez became the first top 20 player to sign as he inked a 5-year deal with Los Tigres on November 15th. We'll keep tabs on the 53 agents throughout the winter. Work stoppage or other. Right now, we can just say this. Everyone is up for grabs, and nothing has yet been decided yet. So we should get an update on everything tomorrow. Okay, let's get back to the headlines. And hey, how's this for some good news? Bing that bell, boys. The Mets may have found their new general manager. Who is it, you might ask? Well, I'm going to tell you who it is. The New York Mets are finalizing a deal to make Billy Epler their general manager, according to MLB Network's John Heyman. Epler, who's 46, had served in the same role with the Los Angeles Angels for nearly 5 years, from October 2015 through the end of last year, the shortened season. The Angels did not enjoy a winning season under his watch, instead winning between 72 and 80 games in 4 of those 5 tries. They would have won 70 in 2020 had their winning percentage held up over the course of a full 162-game schedule, but it was obvious it wouldn't because of COVID. Now, prior to taking over the Angels, Epler served in a variety of roles with the New York Yankees, including as a scout, later an assistant GM. He's also worked for the Colorado Rockies and more recently on the agency side. The Mets' exclusive executive search has been lengthy and some would say fruitless. The Mets seem to be turned down by a new potential candidate on a daily basis, beginning with the big names like Billy Beane and Theo Epstein, and extending to individuals who the average fan would not be able to identify by name alone. So they got a new one. Yay! Let there be bells ringing. Let the white smoke come out from Mets Hub in downtown, in wherever the Mets Stadium is, Citibank Park, in somewhere in the midtown of New York. Yay. It is truly a wonderful, wonder place. It is. Okay, let's get you the top 25. Hi there. Let's get you the top 25 basketball version. Show you who's up, who's in, and who's trouncing. Number 25 is USC. Number 24 is Florida. 23, Connecticut. 22, St. Bonaventure. 21st, Auburn. 20th, Maryland. 19th, Ohio State. 18th, North Carolina. 17th, Tennessee. Arkansas, 16th. Houston, 15th. 14th, Alabama. 13th, Kentucky. 12th, Oregon. Memphis, 11th. Illinois, 10th. Baylor, 9th. Texas, 8th. 7th is Duke. 6th is Purdue. 5th is Michigan. 3rd, Kansas. 2nd, UCLA. And 1st, why not say it? Unga Zaga. Unga, unga. I can't stop the. Okay, I'll stop the song. Okay, that's this. And as a reminder, we must remind you tomorrow night, 7 p.m., it is released. At least I hope it's released. We'll find out for certain. College football playoff rankings are released. Big O 25, and then the 2 teams that are on the outside looking in, and the top 4 looking in and going like this to the 5th and 6th place teams. Or like this if you prefer. There you go. Anyway. And of course, we will have that coverage as well here. I will be babbling about the top 25 tomorrow at 7 p.m. That's the Eastern time zone to you and me. So we're going to be happy. We'll be content. Okay, speaking of happy and content, why don't we pass over? Hey, Passover. Oh, let's take you some soccer action from tonight. And here we go. World Cup qualifying in European style. Italy and Northern Ireland tied at 0. Switzerland up to Bulgaria 4-0. Austria up to Moldova 4-1. Israel up to the Faroe Islands 3-2. Scotland up to Denmark 2-0. Albania up to Andorra 1-0. Hungary up to Poland 2-1. And bing the bell, we got the big score. England demolished San Marino to the point of embarrassment, 10-0. International friendlies, Georgia. I got Georgia on my mind, and Uzbekistan got Georgia on their hiney. 1-0. Georgia beat Uzbekistan. Lithuania and Kuwait tied at 1. In the World Cup qualifying African division, Niger over Djibouti, 7-2. Yeah, you could say Niger kicked Djibouti. Hey, kicked Djibouti. In fact, they twerked your booty. Anyway, Kenya over Rwanda 2-1. Togo over Nambia 1-0. And Guinea-Bissau and Sudan tied at 0. So there you go, your scores. Let's do a little media for you, and for that we go to our friends at Awful Announcing. And how about this, kiddies? NBC is in a most envious place next year. Would you like to know why? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because February, they not only got the Super Bowl, they got the Beijing. Should, of course, Joe Biden have our team go. So let's do this. On one level, it is easy to look at NBC's decision to go live Winter Olympic coverage in a highly desired post-Super Bowl slot. That was announced Friday. But it got a whole buttload of attention in the sports world thanks to Sports Business Journal tweeting about it today. After February 22nd, Super Bowl 56, as a further example of broadcast network's current emphasis on live sports. And that's true, but only to an extent. The decision does reflect how much NBC cares about live sports in general, and about the Olympics in particular, and about trying to boost them with the Super Bowl. They weren't even supposed to show the Super Bowl this year, but made a trade with CBS for Super Bowl and Olympic synergy, but also comes out of NBC's general Olympic strategy, and that is the strategy they've adopted for their other TV programming around the Olympics, and putting anything else there would have come with its own hurdles. Some background on why this matters. The post-Super Bowl slot has produced strong carryover numbers since 67's inaugural edition. And while a share of viewers for lead-out program have declined in recent years due to, of course, cable and streaming, the spot still means a lot to network executives and shows. Whatever airs there, if it's a new show, a reboot, or a returner, it's going to do large numbers than it normally would. But there are some considerations with that. Now, whatever is put in that slot has to have wide appeal. It has to make a case for people to watch it at other times. And it probably shouldn't have its next episode air a long time afterwards. And it's that last little croissant of a point, dear friends, that's particularly relevant here. This Super Bowl on February 13th will mark the latest in the calendar year the game has ever been played. The previous was February 7th in 2010, 2016, and 2020, and that's because of the often criticized shift to 17 regular season games this year, which came with the season still starting at the same time despite a short preseason schedule, and pushed its ending back a weekend in a Winter Olympic year. That's going to lead to some big-ass overlap. Now, the Winter Olympics have slightly overlapped with the Super Bowl before, but not to this level. You see, since 68, the Winter Olympics have always began in February. 64's game ran January 29th, February 9th, and until 2002, the Super Bowl was always played in January. NBC took the Winter Olympics rights beginning in 2002, but they lost their NFL rights after Super Bowl 32 in 98 and didn't get them back until 2006, when their first subsequent Super Bowl being in the non-Olympic year of 2009. Since then, they broadcast the Super Bowl in 2012, Summer Olympic year, 2015, non-Olympic, and 2018. So 2018 was the only one without overlap. But 2018 did back from Super Bowl Olympic conjunction, with Mike Tirico opting to skip the hosting role on NBC Super Bowl coverage in order to go to Pyeongchang for the Olympics. But it's notable that the Super Bowl that year took place on the 4th of February, and the first Olympic events were February 8th, with the opening ceremonies on February 9th. It would have been possible for NBC employees and executives working the Super Bowl to get to the Olympics ahead of then, and some presumably did make that trip. Now, here's something more interesting. Now, in 2022, the Olympics are taking place completely around the Super Bowl. The Beijing 2022 games will have their first event on February 2nd, with the opening ceremonies on February 4th. So the Super Bowl is taking place on the 11th day of the Olympics, and there are still 7 more days of those games ahead. They wrap up on Sunday, February 20th. Here's NBC's larger programming approach. here has some of their shows returning, including This Is Us, premiering in early January, then going on a little Olympic pause. Their broadcast network will shockingly carry primetime Olympic coverage each night of the games, except for Super Bowl break on the 13th. So that leaves no slots for scripted, non-scripted, non-sports programming. And thus, any non-Olympic show airing after the Super Bowl will have to wait at least 8 more days to air its next episode. And that's far from ideal. Maybe it'll work for an unscripted competition show, but it's certainly not great for scripted shows. So it makes sense for NBC to just go with Olympic programming here and hopefully give that programming some part of the post-Super Bowl bump. And on that front, there will be at least there'll be at least seen to be some significant crossover. The Olympics is also sports coverage, so there you go. They're going to have the Olympic broadcast. We'll see how they draw the other post-Super Bowl shows, but there's no clear answer for what an alternative will do this year, especially considering that it would also be going up against Olympic coverage on NBC Universal's cable channels, except one, because NBCSN is going to be rest in peace. So, how can and how will things will be going? Well, we'll have to wait and see. But this should be an interesting super season on ye big old networks. Okay, it that going to be all there. Oh, and well, if you remember, over the summer, folks at Barstool Sports announced that it will not only become the new sponsor of the Arizona Bowl, but the college football game will be exclusively broadcast on Barstool's website, app, and social media platforms. Now, the multi-year deal was seen as a big step forward for the very controversial sports media company, though the reasons they ended up being the game's broadcaster also seemed to have something to do with their reputation and the lack of interest from ESPN and other broadcasters to associate with them. Barstool CEO Erica Nardini said as much in a Sportico article announcing the deal. However, bringing the Arizona Bowl, lower down Blaze, coverage in-house didn't exactly solve their issues. In August, the Pima County Board of Supervisors voted 4-1 to withdraw almost $40,000 in funding from the Arizona Bowl and request that the county's name be removed from the game website. According to Tucson.com, the board made the decision based largely on, quote, a series of inflammatory statements and tweets made by Barstool founder Dave Portnoy, end quote. This was well before the latest round of bad publicity for Portnoy and Barstool, stemming from a Business Insider falsitude that included allegations by multiple women of violence and intimidation, sexual violence and intimidation. In an attempt to clear his name, Portnoy has employed various intimidation tactics to prove these allegations unfounded. Meanwhile, the season is almost upon us, and that means it won't be long before we find out which two teams will play in the Arizona Bowl. The game currently has tie-ins with the Mountain West and Mid-America Conference, and it's not uncommon for one of the MWC top teams to end up there. The San Diego State Aztecs are in a pretty good place right now at 9-1. They're in line to play for the Mountain West title on December 4th. This season, the winner of the MWC automatically plays in the inaugural Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl at SoFi Stadium, assuming they don't find their way into one of the New Year's Six Bowls. However, if SDSU falters at some point, there's a decent chance they'll be in line to end up with the Arizona Bowl, surrounded by Barstool brand coverage and, in effect, partnering with that brand in the build-up to the game. And according to San Diego Union Tribune's Kirk Kenny, that is a place that the school might decide it doesn't want to be in. Oh, we'll just find out what happens next. So there you go. Thank you very much, boys. Let's just we're gonna end this little broadcast in about 3 minutes. So let us go fast, strong, and hard into our last bit of segmentation, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, our international sports. That's right. We go into our international sports like we go into our sporty balls, long and hard. So here we go. Let's go to it. Let's see. Basketball, we done. By the way, an update. Fourth quarter. 5 minutes remaining. The Bulls 111. The Lakers 88. Go, Bulls, go. Let's keep humbling LeBron James. Let's keep that humbling in. In the international hockey, it was in Finland, Cuckoo over Helsinki 5-2. Excuse me. In the Korean Baseball Organization playoffs, KT Wiz Swan over the Doosan Bears 6-1. Winning pitcher was So, 10-18. Losing pitcher Choi Won-jun, 18-6. Let's repeat the NFL score from Monday night. San Francisco 31, Rams 10. And guess what, folks? We are done. That's right, folks. We are closing the book on this one. And best of all, we made it with a minute to spare. So thank you, everybody, for having fun with us. And the fun continues tomorrow. We're back at midnight because we're finally getting a podcast taped. And it's Native American Comedians Month, so we will be focusing on some Native American comedians and playing some of their best bits. So please join us. We go live to tape at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific time on Spreaker.com from iHeartMedia. Let's try it again. From iHeartMedia. Thank you. Gotta gong them. Hey, gong me too. Anyway, don't forget, of course, Wrestle Anime Hut at we go live on tape at 11:30, and we will be jamming on what happened in the fun fiesta that we love to mercifully call Full Gear. There was a lot of excitement, a lot of action. And I'll give you my top picks for that. So if we're ready, you're ready. It's time for us to say goodbye. So we're going to say goodnight. Thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of the evening. For everybody here at Sports Finals, Steve the Backsman Baxley saying, as I always do every night at this time period, a good night, everybody. Have a great night in the West and a great morning here in the East. Peace. This has been a presentation, Mystifying Creativity Productions, in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports, along with that thing we love to call YouTube. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow, midnight Eastern.